Frustrating. With
the time difference between Bali and Sydney, my internet goes off really early in the morning, and this morning was probably one of the busiest days I've had, because I woke up to the news that people are being told by Jetstar that all flights in and out of Bali have been cancelled for 3 weeks, or until the 3rd of October. Now, there's a lot of people, there's tens of thousands, possibly in excess of 100,000 people in Bali right now. It's actually really, really busy at the moment. Not like it used to be, but still going well. So, if they're cancelling flights, what the hell's going on? Because we all know that the flights have been unreliable, that there have been cancellations, there have been delays, there have been people stuck on the runway for hours at a time. I've spoken to hundreds and hundreds of people, even just since my last vlog, about their horrific experience, and now we're getting told that they're going to shut the airport down. Well, not the airport, but Jetstar apparently was sending out or telling people that flights are cancelled from every Australian city to Bali. Now, I want to find out what's going on, so I've come here to the airport. I'm talking to the people in the know to find out what on earth is happening, because there's people here panicking. People here that are getting charged $100 a day for overstaying their visa. People risking deportation. People at the end of their vacation don't have the cash to front up for another hotel or for another airplane fare. And everyone's having AirAsia and Qantas, and all these other people are having issues with planes and flight crew and maintenance and spare parts and everything. I get that. I understand that there's a huge problem at the moment because of COVID, because of getting people back at work, and people with very, very specialised skills. You've got to work for these people for years to be able to know how to work on their planes and their process procedure. Each individual plane, you've got to have qualifications. You can't just tell me, that's it, I'm going to go start working for Jetstar tomorrow. So when they lost their staff, because of COVID, there was a whole huge set of wheels there to get turning again, to try to get those staff back, to try to recover what they've lost. And some of those guys are nowhere near the aircraft industry anymore. They said, that's it, I've had enough. I don't want to go back to an industry that has left my family abandoned. And look, there's a lot behind it. So what's the story? What is happening? Well, the good news is I've come here to the airport, checked the bulletin board, and so far there are 6 flights leaving today for Australia. Adelaide, Melbourne, Perth, Sydney, Brisbane, I think, as well. So the flights are getting out of here. Nothing has been delayed yet, but that doesn't mean it won't, because some of those flights don't leave till 11 or after 11 tonight. I went on the website and there was a whole heap of cancellations, but it doesn't seem to show up on the board here. So maybe they've cancelled one flight and they've rescheduled. Maybe it was a different airplane coming over. They're putting bigger planes on. I don't know what's going on, but I do know there are heaps of people that are supposed to be here right now and they can't get on a plane to get over. So I'm suspecting what they're doing is saying, right, until we can guarantee flights and planes and whatever, we need to just stop too many people coming here so we can handle the people that we need to get home, limit the number of flights, book them all out, see if we can't reschedule them, and then work from there. I don't know, guys. I do believe there are flights between now and the middle of October, or whenever the people are saying that they have been advised by Jetstar it was being cancelled. Now, that advice came through the online chat with Jetstar, so it is what it is. It is hearsay, and I'm not trying to be a scaremonger. I'm just trying to say, if you're stuck in another country and you don't have the money to get home, and your insurance needs you to pay up front for your hotel so they can reimburse you later, if they cancel your flight, you still got to pay for another flight. Often depends if they can get you on another flight, and there might be an upgrade price or something there. So look, this is a bit of a minefield, let's say that. But from what I'm hearing on the ground right here in Bali, it isn't a catastrophe. It's maybe a little bit of an adjustment, and an adjustment hopefully for the better. So I'm going to duck inside. I'm going to find out from people who have been affected by the flights. I'm going to get you some real information. And look, if you've got any stories about what's happening to you, if you're stuck, if you're stranded, please leave a comment after this. I don't know what we can do, but we can certainly try and help you get to people who can help you out and give you some advice or some support. So guys, thanks for following me. Listen, we do this, we don't get paid to be here to do all these vlogs. I'm not Channel 10 or whatever. I'm just a guy in Bali. I'm just telling it as I see it, as I'm told it by my subscribers, by the media over here. There's not a lot being publicly launched. It might be on the airwaves by the time I get home and finish putting this together. But if you support us by hitting the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, give us some comments, it helps us to be able to run around doing all this so we can get you the up-to-date, latest, real information and not just give you panic stations or emergency, Jetstar bashing or whatever. You know, look, it's easy to react, but it's more important to be informed, and that's what we're trying to do here today. Let's go inside and see what we can organise. We'll see what we can find out. Look, at first sight, I'm looking here on the board and there's about 6 Jetstar to Australia, to different cities, including, well, we got Perth, Brisbane, Singapore, no, it's Australia, Perth, Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide. They're all scheduled. Nothing looks like it's running on time, out of time or delayed, and there's so far no cancellations. So that's pretty good news. I don't know, all these giant big Jetstar cancels flights for the next 2 or 3 weeks is a little bit, I don't know, reactionary potentially, but let's see if we can find someone. All right, here we go. So, how'd you go? What's the story?
Well, I've asked them if they know if there's any cancellations today. So they don't have much information, not that they're aware of. Today all flights seem to be going as planned. Right. But flights are getting cancelled. My flight's been cancelled, which is on the 19th of September, Monday. And I was lucky enough to get an email and be able to reschedule it. So my visa's, I've extended my visa once. I can't extend it again, so I'll be in trouble, or I'll get more than a fine probably if I overstay my welcome. So I was lucky enough to get another flight out of here around the same time as my original flight. So I would recommend, if anyone has got the same problem and has been cancelled, to get onto Jetstar, explain your situation to them and see if they can rebook. The other option they gave me was a refund, but I needed to just make sure I have a flight out of here because my visa's gone. It's 2 months I've been here.
So just to be sure, you got onto the call centre on the app?
Yes.
So the chat sort of,
a chat site,
right.
Yeah, through an email. But
did it take long to get through?
It took me 5 minutes to complete it and get.
So all of these horror stories about people being abandoned or being left to their own devices, you found the experience pretty good?
Yeah, it was easy. I was surprised because I was in such a panic. Really worried. I've heard stories that they've cancelled all flights till October the 3rd. You can't get another flight. And I didn't think they were offering refunds, but they did give me the option of having a refund, and then they gave me a schedule that they had for different flight details, and then I chose the one that was suitable for me. It took a whole 5 minutes, no hassle. So
it looks like what they're doing, and I'm reading between the lines, but I guess we're not being told anything official, and by the time this gets to air, maybe there will be an official announcement. But I think what they're doing is they've booked out all of the flights going out of Australia so that they've less people to be able to bring back, and they're only having a few flights, because what we could find is every single flight is fully booked or not available. So I think what they're trying to do is get the people that are here home safely, make sure they've got enough planes to cater for the need of the new people that are coming over. So there are obviously people still coming. The departure information, there's 6 flights today going back to Australia. There's a Jetstar flight just landed and is walking out the door as we speak. So there is still some transport happening, but there's also a lot of I wouldn't say fear-mongering. If you're stuck in another country like you were, $100 a day for overstaying your visa, and you've got to pay for that before you get through the airport. They won't even let you get on a plane if you owe money. So look, I would say without doubt, if you're worried about what's going on, get on the app, get on the phone to Jetstar, ring up your travel agent, say find out, because I've had so many people this morning telling me they got almost to the airport and got told to go home. And nobody wants to be stuck in a foreign country. If you've got insurance, if you've got a few dollars in your bank, up your sleeve. If you get a refund, it may take weeks for the refund to come back. If they offer you alternative transport, you are lucky that they had a few seats available, like a couple of seats on a couple of different days, that still gave you a little bit of safety margin before you're outside of your visa limits. Because if you get deported, they won't let you back in here.
Yeah.
It's pretty serious. We're not just dealing with someone's going to be late back to work. So it could be affecting everything you're doing.
Yeah, fingers crossed they don't cancel this flight.
Well,
you know, so
you would think now they've realised that there's a mistake, and they're trying to restructure what they are doing so that they can get people home. There's no way that they do it again. But I have heard of people being cancelled, and then but those cancellations have been cancelled. So look, I would hate to say don't come to Bali, because Bali desperately needs the income, and it desperately needs your support. But be careful. Make sure you've got travel insurance. Make sure your airline, if you can find an alternative airline at the moment, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. But I'll take my hat off, if I had one on, I'll take my hat off to Jetstar, because apparently this morning, despite the panic that suddenly everyone over here lit up and go, oh my God, Jetstar's cancelling 3 weeks worth of flights, you're not going to be able to get home. It appears that under the circumstance, if they can find a way home, they will do it. So good on you, Jetstar. I know it's tough. The whole world is going through crazy stuff. This post-COVID recovery period it's more than airlines. It's restaurants, it's chefs, it's hospitality industry. It's all around the world has been impacted to such an enormous degree that it takes a long time to get those people back into the workforce, or to find people who left, the engineering people and the specialist staff that just. You can't just magic those people out of the air, and everyone in the world is in the same boat, or on the same plane, going nowhere, sitting on the runway. Hey guys, thanks a lot, and thank you very much for coming along and telling me your story. Hopefully you'll get home in time.
yes.
In the meanwhile, you can enjoy Bali for a couple more days.
Exactly. It's not so bad, really.
Oh, lovely. Okay, well, thanks for coming, and hopefully I'll put some of your fears to rest, but definitely stay on that website, jump on the app, or whatever you got to do. Check with your airline and make sure that your tickets are good, and I'd be checking on a daily basis if you're leading up to the last couple of days of your visa, especially, or if you're getting ready to fly here or home. See you when you get here, maybe.